ceremony for Captain Chris Richards. If you could please stand for the arrival of the official party and the playing of the national anthem. Thank you. Please take your seats. We are delighted to have with us today Captain Richards' wife, Jennifer, his father, Don Richards, his brother, Noah, and Jen and Chris's children, Jonah, Calvin, and Hazel. Also in attendance are Colonel Andrews' wife, Sandy, and the Richards pastor and friend, Corey Knies. Would you please join me in giving them a round of applause? And we have Pastor Corey, who will now give the invocation.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to do this. I appreciate the offer, Chris. So I just open up in just a prayer if you guys want to join along. Heavenly Father, I want to first thank you for the great honor that we have today to thank you for all the work that you have done in Chris's life. And we thank you, Lord, for the opportunity that he has to have this promotion, the person that he is, and the officer that he is with the Air Force. And we also want to ask a very special blessing over his life and that of his families, that from this point forward, as he moves forward, he moves in further confidence, and that he will be in your divine path, and that he will be in your perfect will. Lord, we thank you for Chris, and we thank you for his family and all that has gone into helping him achieve this accomplishment. In Jesus' name, amen.
And ladies and gentlemen, we'll now hear from Colonel Andrews.
Thanks. Sit or stand? It's up to you. I'll sit. Well, despite the weather, it's a great day because we're promoting a terrific Air Force profession. And we're also going to recognize a wonderful Air Force family. So thanks to all of you who are here honoring Chris on this day. I'd like to also extend my personal welcome to Chris's family and friends. And of course, I have to say something about Sandy, otherwise I'll get in big trouble. So Chris has been waiting a long time for this day. The promotion board met in 2011, and the list was released in March of 2012. So it's been 20 months. That's a long time to wait for a promotion. So, and actually, we're only having it on this day because the list really sped up here over the last few months. Otherwise, we might be talking 4 or 5, 6 months out. So it's great that it happened before the holidays. So it's a nice early present. Besides the free food, I always say there's 3 reasons to have these promotion ceremonies. First, it's to celebrate the accomplishments of the individual. Secondly, it's to recognize the acknowledged potential of the officer, because when promotion boards meet, that's what they're really examining, is what the person can do going forward. And then finally, by re-administering the oath of office, it reminds not only Chris, but all of us of the sobering responsibilities of the profession of arms. So let's start with number 1, and let's talk about what Chris has done. So he was born in Seattle, but moved a couple years later to a little town called Anacortes, Washington, which is on Fidalgo Island, next to Whidbey Naval Air Station. Whenever I do these, I always like to look up people's hometowns and get little nuggets of these. I have to tell you, the Anacortes rather looks like really a wonderful place to live. It's right on the water there. It's a town. Right now the population is about 16,000. I don't know what it was when Chris was growing up. It's got Puget Sound to the north. It's got the San Juan Islands on 3 sides. There's a ferry terminal there. And anybody who's been in the Seattle area, if you haven't had a chance to ride the ferry system, it's unbelievable. It's up all over. It's a big network between islands and the mainland. And another good thing, it only has half the annual rainfall of Seattle. So of course I consulted the font of knowledge, Wikipedia, and one of the things that Wikipedia does is it lists the notable residents of Anacortes. And I have to admit there was a glaring oversight because the Richards family was not in it.
I'm surprised you didn't update.
But I was struck by one entry, and this I'm not making this up. One of the notable residents on the list was Bobo, the Western lowland gorilla. He arrived in 1952. So
Ran for mayor.
I can only assume that the Bobo's presence that surely validated the idyllic nature of Anacortes. But anyways, Chris had a great childhood growing up. He was the oldest of 4 kids. Noah was one of his younger brothers. He grew up in the house that his dad still lives in to this day. He loved camping, making forts, playing in the forest across the street. He mentioned to me that he tried to become a pen pal of John Gotti, the imprisoned mobster. I won't go into the details. He also made the front page of the paper for standing in line for 2 days, 48 hours. So you could be the first one to buy a ticket to Star Wars: The Phantom Menace.
So sad. You guys are also supposed to be surprised at that.
He also caught the math bug as a kid, and he even started tutoring when he was in the 6th grade. And while in high school, he also took classes at the local community college. So on the same weekend that he received his high school diploma, he also got an associate's degree. He also, while he was in high school, went on a 2-week exchange program in Paris with a family there, and that you may be surprised. I actually didn't know this until I started preparing these comments that Chris is very proficient in the French language. So that certainly was kept propelling him on the way there while he did that immersion. In 1998, Chris went off to college at Pepperdine University. I don't know how many of you have been to the campus of Pepperdine. I have. It is a beautiful campus. It's in Malibu, California. It overlooks the Pacific. It's really a great place. And I'm sure you all are aware that the school mascot is Willie the Wave. So
Very
I can only imagine what that costume looks like. It's not on their website, so and while he was there, Chris was a double major in both math and comp sci, and no surprise he minored in French. He also met a fellow math major, Jen, who was also a double major in art. So we're both hemispheres of the brain there. So he met Jen in 1999, and only 3 short years later, she finally agreed to go on a first date. So
Law of very large numbers.
But he must have made quite an impression because that was in May, and in August they got married. So something magic happened there. So, and obviously it's been a great fit. And also while he was at Pepperdine, he went on a 2-month exchange over to Nice, which is on the French Riviera, and that was before his senior year. So once again, reinforcing his proficiency in that language. So after graduation in 2002, both Chris and Jen went off to San Antonio, Texas, to Randolph Air Force Base, where he first was an analyst, and then he was the chief of analysis for the headquarters of the Air Force Recruiting Service. So there's a lot of work that he did there in terms of, I'm sure, examining what the goals were for various recruiting squadrons and things like that. So looking at the folks coming in, so really important stuff, particularly as a brand new second lieutenant. Oh, I forgot to mention, after he graduated, they went back to Seattle first, and Chris taught high school math and physics. But one of the things they discovered as well, he loved the teaching. He wasn't all that keen on the poverty, so that's what propelled him to look for other career opportunities. So he went to OTS, graduated in December of '03, and then reported to Randolph right after that. So, pesky detail I forgot to mention. While they were at Randolph, the family was plussed up by one with Jonah, who arrived, which I'm sure was the high point of that assignment. And then after 3.5 years there, Chris was applied and was selected for a master's degree at Abbott. So the family packed up and moved to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio, where he completed a master's degree in operations research. And then, once again, another child was born. Calvin arrived at Wright-Pat. And after they graduated in 2009, the family then moved to Albuquerque, New Mexico, at the Kirtland Air Force Base, where Chris was assigned to the Field Service Office of the Air Force Director of Intelligence. So I know he did a lot of important stuff there. Unfortunately, he can't tell us, otherwise he'd have to kill us. So. And while there, he also deployed for 4 months to the Combined Air Operations Center in Qatar. We've got a number of people in this audience here who worked in that same office. Matter of fact, Chris left right before Trey got there in 2011. And then the department was really lucky because we then got our hooks into him in summer of 2012. So he's been here, this is his 3rd semester. So as with all new instructors, he taught Calculus 1 his first semester, Calculus 2 his second semester in the spring. He was also the assistant course director, and now he's my boss as the course director of the Advanced Place Calculus 2 course. So I enjoy working for him. And so while he's been here, he's been recognized as the new instructor of the semester, the company grade officer of the quarter, and of course we just selected him to go off and get a PhD next year. I don't think he's decided yet where he's going to go.
I'm working on it.
He's getting close because he's got a deadline at the end of December.
Close the doors now.
But anyways, that's quite a coup to get that selection. So he'll go off to school in the fall, and then 6 short years later, he'll come back to the department and take on an important leadership role when he gets back. So we're looking forward to that. I do want to say that, I mean, that's the Reader's Digest version of the career, but I do want to make a couple of comments about Chris. He really has a rare and wonderful ability to connect with the students. He has a steady stream of cadets that go through his office to get extra help or just to talk. Many of them are from students that aren't in his class. My students in particular seem to be much more upset with him than they are with me. So I get lots of emails from Chris saying, "Hey, I gave you out of this." They don't want to come.
They have good things to say about you, sir.
So, and I know this is no secret to the people in the department, but he brings enormous energy to every endeavor. It's really fun to watch him. At our department picnic this year, he was essentially the auctioneer for our money-raising effort of throwing pies in people's faces. The amount of money he raised was just mind-boggling. And of course, he won the Monster Award at the picnic the previous year. So, and once again, he could tell you that story. Anyways, I think all in all, it's clear that Chris is ready to take on these new responsibilities as a field grade officer, and that's a definite step up in the rank structure. So it goes from company grade to field grade officer. So the company grade, I'm only a company grade officer excuses no longer applies.
I got another 5 minutes.
Anyways, I think we're ready to go to the next thing. So we go ahead and publish the orders.
All right, please stand for the reading of the promotion order. Attention to orders. The President of the United States, acting upon the recommendation of the Secretary of the Air Force, has placed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, integrity, and abilities of Captain Christopher D. Richards. In view of these special qualities and his demonstrated potential to serve in the higher grade, Christopher D. Richards is promoted to the permanent grade of Major, United States Air Force, effective 1 December 2013, by order of the Secretary of the Air Force. Thank you. Please take your seats.
And Chris's family now is going to come on up and pin on the new rank.
So I have
Try not to
pound it down really hard.
That's right. That's how it works.
You don't know my family.
I think we do.
Tell me if it hurts.
You didn't pound hard.
Act like it
Yeah.
does. All right, let's see if I do the same. Nailed it. But it's we give to some.
Yep.
All right, then Jonah, if you want. So, you guys are good with things like that. I don't need to do this. Thank you.
Here.
All right, and now Colonel Andrew will administer the oath of office to Major
Feel the power surge back.
Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Christopher Daniel Richards,
Having been appointed a Major, United States Air Force,
having been appointed a Major, United States Air Force,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely,
that I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office upon which
of the office upon which
I am about to enter.
I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Oh, all right. Hold on. Need to go. All right.
brief comment.
Yeah. All right. I just want to, I know that there was a lot of factors that were stopping a lot of people from being here today, and so I am really grateful and really impressed how many of you were able to come out, and I really appreciate it, especially you, Corey. Thank you for coming out and doing that. And my family, I don't know if some of you guys met my brother and realized he was actually not intended to come. He was just happened to be at the airport last night. So that was it. That was a great surprise. I'm gonna try to keep this short. I know that there's a lot of people who aren't me who got me here right now, and I always am that person who tries really hard to be. I don't know. I feel like I can't take credit for a lot of the things because I feel I'm just lucky or I got there at the right time or someone helped me, but there is a small piece of me that feels that this is one of the promotions that I do feel some pride in, and I'm really proud to, like Colonel Andrews said, working with the cadets a lot. This has been one of the first jobs that I really have a very direct and immediate impact on some people, that I get to see that reflection of how they act on that and the results of it. And it has been really fulfilling, and has also made me take even more control of my actions, because you know, everyone jokes about the second lieutenant shield and everything, but my first week as a second lieutenant, I erased an entire network hard drive of recruiting data. And I basically got the, oh, you second lieutenant. And it came out of it, but I have the increased responsibility, but I also get an increased sense of investment in things when they do work out, and I've really been appreciative of that. So, like I said, thank you to everyone here, but I just want to say a few thank yous to some people in particular. The first is my dad. If you will come up here for a second, because he hates being in front of people, so that's how I thank him. Some of you guys, you guys, my dad is he's the reason everything I've done up to this point basically stems from him. He tries to give credit to Jen, my mom, a lot of other different people, but he is the reason that I get motivated to do things, that I have a work ethic to stay with things when they were done when we were a kid. He was on the road all of the time, which I used to as a small kid, but that's not fair. He gets to ride on airplanes all the time. I wish I did. And then when I got to be a teenager, I got to work with him, and I was like, oh my gosh, he loves us, because this is not fun. And so I just wanted to appreciate, thank you everything. And I've given my dad a coin before in the past, but this coin is the coin that General Cleveland gave me as the SOCCENT commander when I was deployed for the work I did with the Special Forces. And it was the first time that I really felt as an analyst that I was actually part of the real military, and that I was making a real connection with things. And it kind of was a changing point, because before I was like, yeah, I'm the nerdy analyst, I'll do Excel, I just sit back, I'm not in the real Air Force. But that's when I realized I was making an impact, because when he gave it to me, he said, yeah, he's like, you did this, you basically reduced our time before we get aircraft overhead. I guarantee you saved at least 3 lives this month. Wow. And made me feel really good. And I just wanted to give this to my dad, because you are the reason that I wanted to make a difference, and I wanted to make that kind of impact. So this belongs to you, not me.
Thank you so much.
All right, the other couple quick is these guys, the children, Jonah and Calvin and Hazel. All of them have, everywhere we have gone, they have gone without question. They've been excited. I was worried about moving kids around. Jonah tells everyone, I was born in Texas, I'm kind of a cowboy. He's very excited about it. And so for Jonah and Calvin, he tells everyone he remembers the time we were talking about Ohio, and he said, yeah, I remember that. I was like, really? Because you were one. He's like, yeah, it was fun. It was cold. I remember it. So you guys come on up here. I wanted to... This is for you guys. You can open it. This was, I bit the bullet as a dad, and I got them what I know they wanted and not what I want them to have. So that is for you guys, because I appreciate everything that you guys have done helping me out, okay? Thank you. All right. Take the garbage. All right, Hazel. Hazel is also very smart. Come on up here. All right. I mean, look at this here. How can you not want to take this with you everywhere you go, right? She has been sweet. She follows around. She will sit in my office patiently, and she always runs to the door and yells when I get home to everyone, Papa's home, everyone come down, Papa's home. And so, Hazel, does this bag look like it's for you? Do you want this one? Do you want me to help you open it? is that? Oh, it's more. Here, I'll help you. There you go. Can I have a kiss? All right. Garbage. There you go. All right. Save the best for last. My wife, Jennifer, you guys have met her, and you guys all know that she is just plain better than me, and I don't deserve her. And I even, the first time, as soon as we got married, both my parents basically took me aside at different points and said, okay, you know if you mess this up, we're keeping her and not you. You love her better. So, first of all, I talked to my dad, and he had asked me that, so I could take credit for it, but here, come on up here, I wanted to give you, this is from my dad and me. This is a medal. It's a spouse's medal, but also comes with a spouse's necklace. That is because half of these awards should belong to you, and I wanted to have something to represent that I couldn't do it without you, basically. So this is for you. And I'm a horrible, horrible person. I had many times I was supposed to get flowers, and I did not, and I feel really bad, so I hope it's okay. I just got you a computer instead. You guys may not know this, but she's currently working on her master's degree up at Denver Seminary, and that's really the reason I applied for the PhD, is because I knew she was catching up to me, sir. I need to keep that gap up. All right. Well, that's about all I got, and I am just really appreciative that you guys are all here. Please stay, drink some of my drinks, eat some of my food, and eat some of the cake they should be bringing in. Some of the appetizers here. If you didn't get the email, everyone is more than welcome. When we're done here, we're going to have a basically kind of a rolling after party at my house. I sent out directions to everyone. If you didn't get it, ask me. There should be some food, snacks, and drinks there. We'll be there into the evening, so if you got to work and you got to come later, please feel free to come and take advantage of me and better choice of words. Again, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for coming. It really means a lot that everyone is, not only is everyone here, but I know each and every one of you. I've been to a lot of retirements and promotions where I came just because I knew, hey, the chief comes down and says, promotion, who? Johnson. Awesome. And then I shake his hand. But I know each and every one of you guys, and I know that each and every one of you guys know me, and it really means a lot to have this many people who I know actually care about me in some way, so I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Before we dismiss, I want to put a plug in for the fact that Chris has recently dropped in the rankings for the Santa costume holiday party. So if you would like to help promote him back up in the first place, I'll be taking a collection afterwards. Thank you.